So apparently this one actually came out at a random time. Like I didn't even know it even came out because I thought it was coming out today. Apparently it came out really, really early this morning, my time. So yeah, I actually have returned to do the next anime premiering in winter called Kuzu no Honkai. Freaking hell. Or in English, it's called Scum's Wish. I was like, it's a pretty interesting title. And even the actual kind of plot itself does seem pretty freaking interesting. And I did actually kind of Google the actual name of the actual kind of series to actually see what's really going down with it. And I must say, it looks pretty interesting. Like to say the least, it looks to be quite an interesting series. So hopefully it can balance out what it's trying to do pretty freaking damn well. In essence, kind of make it seem to have a meaning behind it. If it does it, then I'd be completely content. Like I would be like, yeah. But yeah, to be honest, I was actually the more I heard about this series, the more interest I became in it. I was like, wow. So it looks pretty good then. It doesn't actually look too bad. So I'm actually kind of on board. And the problem was this anime is Amazon Prime exclusive and it's region locked outside of England. So I was kind of like, Amazon Prime, you have failed me. For the first time in my existence using Amazon Prime for anime, it has failed me because I've never had this before. I never had an anime kind of region locked outside of England with Amazon Prime because normally 9 out of 10 times they give it to you anyway. But this time they did it. This time they went, no, you're not getting it. I was like, hopefully, I might as well just cancel down on Twitter. Maybe that might be doing it. Maybe that might be what's doing it. But I actually managed to find it on YouTube because YouTube 9 out of 10 times is a savior for me because I just can't find it anywhere else. I'm like, oh, I want to watch it. Like I can't because it won't let me. Because Amazon Prime's a douche. Because they launched this new thing called Amazon Prime, like I think it's called like Amazon Prime Anime Strike channel or something similar to that. I was like, okay. And then when I looked at it, I was like, they've got new anime. Holy crap. Amazon Prime's actually breaking into anime and they're actually kind of caring about what they're doing. Holy freaking Christ. And then one of the exclusive titles was this, and it was region locked outside because England ain't getting it. Because we don't deserve anything, apparently. Because, I don't know. But anyway, YouTube saved my life. So if you want to watch it with me, you can, because I've actually linked the link to the actual like YouTube video that has the actual episode. So yeah, without further delay, let's get this show on the road. Because I've also covered Chaos Child today because it came out 30 minutes ago. So yes, with all that said, let's start in 3, 2, 1. Let's begin now. Hopefully it actually has a proper stream, as I might have to go somewhere else afterwards. It made sense once I realized there was no Tamina. I was like, that's why Amazon Prime's got it. I was like, But if only this manages to actually kind of balance out what it's trying to portray. If it does do it, I'll be so happy. Like, yes, it's a good job. Because it does have some kind of... It's very mature, apparently. That's what I've been reading. It's very mature, so hopefully it can actually balance everything out. If it doesn't... But by what I've heard, people are saying it's actually really freaking good. I was like, cool. Because from what I remember, is she's in love with the teacher, and he's in love with a teacher as well. But they go out of each other to actually kind of feel like they're less alone, to kind of cope with who they can't have. I was like, okay. I believe that's the case. Yeah, everything's working cool. And I'm guessing she must be the fork in the road. I take it. I take it. Hey, look, they're actually doing the presentation really damn well as well. It's actually really cool. Lurch, you're doing good. Didn't waste any time, did it? I don't like it whenever I see the stream of spit come off their tongues. It just grosses me out completely. Huh. So it actually is that case. I was right then. I thought I was. But just whenever I see the spit come off their tongues, it just goes. I go, ah. It's the worst thing that I can ever see as a person. Just don't like it, and this just breaks everything for me. I don't know why. I think it's because of all the ecchi shows I've watched. It's kind of just literally made me that way. I figured it out recently. Like, I think anime has changed me as a person. The opening's actually pretty cool. At least the opening kind of tells you straight away what you're expecting. It just tells you, it doesn't beat around the bush at all. It goes, you're getting that. I'm like, okay. All right. Now just do a good job of it and I'll be completely content. Just don't ruin it. Because it just there's two ways of doing it, and one of the ways is quite well, and the other way just completely destroys everything. But I believe in Lurch. Also believe in the director as well. Is that kind of Hanazawa as well? Must say, it's actually really nicely animated so far. It is kind of Hanazawa, isn't it? hopefully the comedy actually goes down well as well. Another thing to note as well, because it could actually also break the series. Because don't forget, it's actually got quite a heavy background to it, and it's kind of putting the comedy to kind of ease everyone into what's going to happen, and it's kind of working slightly. I mean, hopefully, as time goes on, it fully kind of manages to kind of break even. If you get what I mean. Because sometimes comedy can actually like kind of destroy a series completely, like just take you out of experience. Damn those people. That told her completely. Because that's unfair. It's like your shoes are unfair. It's like, whoa. Things cut deep. See, it does work. The comedy does work. It's a pretty freaking good transition just then as well. Good transition. It's actually really nicely presented. I really like the actual aesthetic. That's one way of thinking about things, I guess. Quite heavy, actually, when you think about it as well. It's going to be one of those tales of they're in love with other people. They see themselves as replacements towards each other, but in the end, they fall in love. They kind of just end up together. I'd be surprised it doesn't go down that way. I was going to be completely happy as well because it'd be the less conventional route. Because it's always that's the case with these kind of shows. Someone else they're in love with, they find kind of they're consoling each other, and then in the end they kind of fall in love. Well, it's actually moving quite fast. I did not expect this early, but I guess. I mean, Christ, damn. The OST's really good. Like, just to kind of say something about the scene's actually really, really well done to the OST. And there's the icebreaker, the phone, the age-old thing. He dyed his hair. Oh wait, it's not the same person. Wait, what? Am I wrong? Like, am I thinking things? And with this, winter season is worth it. The show is freaking good. I like it. At least she actually addresses it as well. Whoever's on visuals does a medal. It's freaking well done. But that can't last long. That can't last long. Don't tell me it's going to last forever. Holy crap. Ha! That's actually really good. It came out of left field. This. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's this. This is my favorite animated season. I'm actually so impressed with it. It's like it did it good. To kind of make that explanation better. It was nicely presented. Because they just say something completely different. It doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? It was because certain times like this, you can do it two ways, and it could either work or it doesn't work. It could break the experience completely. But how they went about doing it was very freaking mature, and I quite liked it. I thought, you know what, I can't argue with that because it was really nicely presented. Because it wasn't too overbearing, and it wasn't too ambiguous either. That's what I quite liked about it. And the aesthetics of the scene was freaking amazing. This ending is amazing as well. So hopefully this anime can just I hope this anime actually can deliver like from now on. This show is going to be good if it does. You can actually watch it right now. It's on YouTube. That's how I'm watching it because and Amazon Prime region locked it. God damn. I'm actually so impressed. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you make winter season worth it. I don't need any other animes. If I got that one, it does it completely throughout the whole entire series well. I never need any more shows for this season. I could just watch this, and I would be completely content. Oh my god, it was quite poetic as well. I kind of like the setup because it's got that kind of conventional idea about it. Don't get me wrong, it's two people who love two different people entirely, but they use themselves as replacements to kind of feel less lonely. And I'm guessing you would imagine that the kind of thing is, as time goes on, they kind of feel for each other more often, and in the end they actually kind of fall in love. It's kind of a conventional idea, but then at the same time they can actually play with this convention, actually change as time goes on. They don't have to keep down this convention. They don't need to kind of stay here and go, yeah, look, that's what's going to happen, because they don't. They can just do something completely different. They can go down some other route. In the end, they might fall in love with someone else. We don't know, but in the end, then they kind of feel like they actually belong together. That's what I'm kind of seeing. I'm kind of seeing that whole entire thing happen. There's a lot of ways the series can go. That's what I quite like about it. It's not one set route right now. I mean, when you look at it as an observer, it kind of does have the idea about it. It could just go down the one you already know, the kind of route that doesn't really kind of do anything for you. But by the looks of this episode, and by the looks of what's going to continue, and by the looks of what the manga is kind of showing as well, it's kind of going down different routes. And I quite like that idea. I quite like the fact it's not just doing something one note. And I think the characters themselves are quite interesting as well. Each of them have a different kind of outlook, and I actually quite like it. I actually quite like their characters. They have something about them that kind of makes me interested to see where they go, how the feelings kind of develop, because it's kind of overbearing to actually fall in love with someone that you know those feelings won't be reciprocated. It's kind of hard. It's like one of those things that kind of destroys you as time goes on. Like you feel like that overbearingness like claw at your heart. It kind of destroys you as a person. It can. And to kind of find these two, the kind of consoling each other, actually feel less lonely, is actually really freaking interesting, because it's one of those things that, again, it's different. It's very much different, and how they're portraying the events they're trying to do is interesting. They're going about it in a mature way, and I can't fault Lurch. I think Lurch is the one that's doing this series, I believe. Hold on. I don't want to say Lurch, and Lurch is the one not doing it. I swear it was Lurch. Yeah, it's Lurch. And I can't fault Lurch and any which performer how they're going about presenting the actual events, because they're doing such a good job of it, and they're not making it overbearing. That's the major thing, because there are certain animes where they will have some mature content in it, don't get me wrong, but it's there for the sake of being there. It's not there to actually kind of have a meaning behind it. And this one is different. This one has a meaning behind what's really going on or what's really going down with these characters. So I actually kind of like that about it. It's not there for the sake of being there. It's got meaning behind it. Once you actually give meaning to something that shouldn't be there in the first place, because you've seen other animes and they do it so poorly, it makes the experience so much better. So I actually think it does, because it just doesn't make it. You're not just watching it and you're kind of like, oh, that's just there for the sake of being there. It's there for a reason. There's a meaning behind it. There's a motive behind it. And I actually quite like it. In essence, it's interesting. It's not just there to kind of be, oh, look, mate, here's some like kind of stuff to actually kind of interest you. It's not that at all. Actually, that's what I kind of like. That's what I kind of like about it. I mean, yeah, I could do about the spit streams, like the tongues, because freaking hell, I hate it so much. But I mean, hopefully as time goes on, they might do something completely different with it. Hopefully as time goes on, there might just be some more meaning behind what's really going on here, what's really going down. They kind of just say to her, look, just don't look at me as if I'm me. Look at me as if I'm brother. I was like, wow. So yeah, he's doing that to kind of make her feel less lonely. In essence, allowing her to kind of fulfill her wish, but at the same time, no. But she can imagine her wish has been fulfilled. It's actually interesting. I actually quite like that idea. I guess it's also working vice versa as well. And in essence, I'm guessing he probably sees the one he loves in her. So technically, it's also kind of terrible for them as people as well, because they're not seeing each other It's seeing something completely different. It's kind of depressing when you think about it, because it's not how it's not how I would imagine loneliness being able to be kind of quelled. It's not that at all. It's kind of a more depressing outlook when you think about it, because they're not allowed to have the feelings for each other. Things cannot be reciprocated between each other. They can't feel anything towards each other, otherwise they kind of lose. It ain't working. And it's actually freaking depressing. Because what happens is at one point he falls in love with her, or vice versa, because then it's gonna claw at them even more. That's the whole entire thing. That's what the drama becomes behind it. The drama comes behind it if the feelings start going towards one another, like, and they can't actually reciprocate those feelings because they're not allowed. And it's gonna destroy them more, and it's gonna break their heart even more. It's actually kind of it looks to be freaking amazing. That's the main thing. It's not just a romance show about two different people and other two different people, and then they kind of console each other, and then in the end they end up together. Because I believe that's how Toradora went down in the end. I think because Toradora in the end, Ryuji and Tiger loved two different people. They realized they're not for each other, and in the end they got together, because it's my favorite show of all time. But still, so hopefully this show does it. The more, like, don't get me wrong, Toradora's a masterpiece in its own right, but hopefully the show does it completely different. Actually, could even rival Toradora for me, because it looks like it can. And I hope it just does it. I'm hoping, because I'm sitting here just saying now, I don't need any other show besides Gintamo show of this and ACAA, and also any other Italian shows, and also Little Witch Academia. I don't need any other shows. Anime this season for me, this is the kind of pinnacle point. I don't think we're gonna get better than this. Like, if for a new show, I think this is it. I think this is probably the best we're gonna get, because I don't think anything else is gonna do anything good, because this has just done everything I wanted it to do so bloody brilliantly. So yeah, all in all, can't argue with it. It done a good job. It done it freaking amazing, and I just love it to bits. So yes, with all that said, I have indeed been the driver. If you have enjoyed this stream as a whole, and you do want to leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed it does help me quite a bit. If you have enjoyed what I do here, and you want to stay a little bit longer, then do leave a sub, because indeed it does help me quite a bit. But until about an hour and a bit with Chaos Child, I see you guys later. Bye for now.